Hey guys, I just made it to the shop here at Jotech. Thank God the rain stopped. It was raining so hard. I didn't even know if I was gonna make it out here, but we made it. Super special day today. I got a DM on my Instagram from Abby, and she's a college student, and she wanted to interview me and kind of know about like my backstory, racing life, and all of that fun stuff. So we are gonna meet up with her at the shop, and then I guess you guys will be able to see that interview as well. Let's go meet with Abby.
Hi guys.
So we have everything set up. We're gonna be kind of in the Jotech living room area and do our interview here. So tell us about your project and why you came to me.
Okay, so this is for my capstone class. I'm about to graduate college, and this is kind of like a narrative storytelling video. And I've always kind of gone to these car shows and seen Jotech at the car shows. And so I thought that she would be perfect actually for this story, just because I think that this is kind of an industry that is male dominated. So I really wanted to interview like a powerful, strong woman and kind of get like her role in the car industry. So
there's some days where I don't feel powerful, strong, but at least other people see it.
No, you are.
But
for sure.
Let's get started, and you guys can come along for the ride. Okay, let's set up. Hey guys, I'm Lunatic Car, and I am a drag racer for Jotech Motorsports, and I have a 1500 horsepower Nissan GTR 50th anniversary, and we're in the process of building it to more horsepower, so hopefully we can get into the 7 seconds in a quarter mile. I've been racing for 10 years, and my husband actually owns the shop Jotech Motorsports, and he taught me everything that I need to know about drag racing, and him and the guys have been building the Lunatic Car. I grew up in an immigrant family. I was born in the Philippines, and my family came here in 1989 to California. And so we basically started from scratch. I started really getting into sports cars when I was 16, got my driver's license, and I got a 91 Mazda Miata. That was my first car. It was a stick shift. And when I graduated from the dental hygiene program, that's when I upgraded to Corvette Z06 C4. I've always liked, you know, the way sports cars look, the way they drive. After that is when I got into the GTR platform, and that's when I met Kenny. Actually, it was his idea to be like, hey, do you want to get a GTR and start racing? And I'm like, yeah, I want to get into a GTR. And then that's when the whole drag racing journey began. When I started racing back in 2013, there were very few women racing. And so you almost kind of just have to prove yourself. And like when you show up, they kind of look at you as like, oh, this little girl doesn't know what she's doing. It could kind of make you feel like, get in your head. And so that's the stuff that I had to overcome, is that hyping myself up, saying that I can do it, I can be in the crowd in a male-dominated sport. That's why the car is Hello Kitty, is because I have that Hello Kitty personality where I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, well maybe, I don't know, like just like that super nice attitude where I don't get like aggressive or competitive. And over the years, that's what I started to learn how to do, is to make myself like feel like I do belong there. Currently, there are more women racing, which is good. And it's not necessarily like, oh, because I'm a girl, like poor me in this male-dominated sport. It's not like that. Sometimes people do like women racing, and we do get like all of this like good positive feedback even from the male drivers. But when you do start winning, collecting trophies, then that's when people could get bothered by it. But not necessarily if you're a boy or a girl, but because it's such a competitive sport and everybody wants to win, sometimes they try to get you disqualified. That's the challenge, is like when you're up there, that's when people start trying to tear you down and finding little things that aren't even valid, but that could be like for male, female as well. 20, my husband like really motivated me to get in, because I'd go to like the car meets and then watch him race and the car races and stuff. And he did offer, he was like, do you want to learn how to race? Because he was a professional NHRA drag racer. So he knew everything. When he offered to teach me, I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it, because I love racing, I love cars, so why not learn from the best? And that's how everything pretty much got started. I've always stuck to the GTR platform. I've probably like had 5 from 2009 GTR, and then I had like a 2012, and then a 15. So we just kept like changing it, and then I got a GTR Nismo, and that's where we got the world record for the fastest GTR with stock turbos. And what makes all of these cars unique is that they're all modified, but you can race the hell out of it and still drive it to like a car meet. Every few years, I'm like upgrading the horsepower, the parts, and it's getting faster and faster. And the car, we ended up just selling it and then getting a newer one. So there's constantly this trade. But now with the 50th anniversary Lunatic car that I have, that one I'll keep for forever if I can. So the customization, I pretty much leave that up to the guys, because they have the shop, they study like what the new parts are, what's good, what's bad, what needs to be replaced. I do the aesthetics on making the car pretty. And that's what our deal was, is I told them, I was like, you can make it however fast you want, as long as I could drive it, number one, and number two, as long as I can put the aesthetic of like making it girly, Hello Kitty vibes and everything. So that's how it turned into the Lunatic car. There are times where I do get some hate and people trying to tear me down, and I find that if you surround yourself in a positive, supportive circle, which I do have with just like a close-knit family and friends and the guys at the shop that are pretty much family, they protect me and they hype me up, and it's just, so that part keeps me going. Also, like the fans and spectators who appreciate the car, that's what keeps me going too. So it just makes everything worth it, regardless of what everybody says. If they have hate, like, or any type of negativity, I always, you know, look at my circle and look at all of the positive vibes that the car feeds off with spectators and fans, and that's what pretty much keeps me going. Being a female racer definitely inspired people around me, because now we have more people within the industry racing, more women and little girls, I feel like, are going to these car meets and the races when we're out there. And I get messages from different people like on Instagram and stuff saying like, oh, now my daughter likes cars and likes going to the car meets because she saw your car out there. And so it kind of like brings that bond with the family, so that's super cool. And also, like within our Jotech community, I guess, we have the husbands that come in to want to modify their car, and then they see that I'm racing and they're like, oh my gosh, well maybe my wife could race too. And that wasn't even like a thought before until they started seeing me race. So it's pretty cool, because I'm like, yeah, you can totally do it. I can teach you. You could be faster than your husband. And that's kind of like the little competitiveness that we have, like when we all go to the track, is that like wives against husbands. And I think for the most part, like the wives have been kicking ass and they've been beating their husbands. A lot of people think that I do this stuff full time, but realistically, you got bills to pay. I'm a dental hygienist by, I guess, trade, is that how you say it? And I've been doing that since 2010 is when I graduated, and I love it. So that's my full-time job, and that helps kind of pay the car bills too, in addition to Jotech sponsoring the car as well. So we have like a good balanced partnership going. So you don't have to just be in the car industry to want to like cars and drive cars. Like you can have, we have a lot of clients that have like just the normal 9-to-5 job, and mine is a dental hygienist. The history with Joe-Tech is that Kenny opened it up when I think he was like 18 or 19 years old, didn't have any money. He partnered up with his brother-in-law, and his dad also saw his vision. They sold everything, like the laundromat that they had, to finance Joe-Tech. And it was like a big gamble because at the time, Kenny is the youngest out of like 7 kids, and he was like, I guess the black sheep of the family, where he was like always going out, and then he's like, I want to open an auto shop, and they're like, no, don't open an auto shop. You should be a doctor or like a white collar like job. And he was like super passionate about it. His dad saw the vision, his brother-in-law saw the vision, and they're like, okay, fine, let's do it. And it literally started from nothing, where they were working for free for several years. And over, I mean, gosh, it's probably been over 25 years that they've had it. And they grew so much, and I'm so proud of him with the growth that they've accomplished. You know, he got into racing, the NHRA racing, that way too. Got sponsored by several different companies, and he pretty much made a name for himself with the way that he builds cars, tunes cars, that it's reliable, but you could get like a ton of horsepower, it's quick, it's fast, all of that stuff. And so he built that reputation for himself, along with the team. And yeah, so now it's pretty much like a nationwide like known shop, because we have like, even in the back there's like a client from New York. We've had like people from Brazil like even hire him to work there to work on their cars. So it's pretty cool. I'm very proud of him on the accomplishments that they've made. And since I have come in, I would say I've added that femininity to it and the fun factor that isn't, because his vision is like the aggressive, manly, like, you know, vision for the shop, and like all the cars are very like red and black and very masculine. And then I came in with like the Hello Kitty vibes, the pink, the purples, all the fun stuff. And so I added that element to it, which brings in more, I guess, like females that want to not necessarily race, just have a fast car. And we have like their aesthetic. So one of my other girlfriends, she has like a My Melody car that's like pink and white and like super girly. And we also have the Queen of Hearts car, which is like a 1600 horsepower car. So it's pretty cool, like how everybody has their personalities in the cars. But yeah, there has been a lot of growth like over the years, and they are continuing to grow. So I'm just lucky to be part of that journey too. 2023 in Baytown, Houston, marked the year of the Lunatic Car. So 2022 was like really great, and that's when we won Texas 2K. And with the Lunatic Car, it hasn't won for 10 years, like first place. We had like second and third place. That's the premiere of the car, where they built the hell out of the car and didn't think it would even run, because when we got into qualifyings, I was like last place because there were issues with the car. And they built it, basically put it on the trailer, and they're like, let's just see what happens. And so there were issues with the car, and I was like last place. And then Seth ended up finding the problem, fixed it, and every elimination round I started winning, and then we won. And that was our like really like big win, and that kind of catapulted the popularity of the Lunatic Car. We didn't have like merch or anything like that. So the second year when we came back again, like pretty much everybody knew that car. And it was so cool because I had no clue the impact that win and that car made on people. And there were like hundreds of people like at our tent, just like buying merch and like wanting autographs, which was crazy because I was like, why do you want my autograph? I didn't see like the bigger picture of how much it inspired everyone. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was the most amazing experience to see that joy in people's eyes, and they just appreciated the car and like wanted to take pictures. It was cool. And again, that's kind of why we started the whole YouTube and everything, because I'm like, if they're super interested, then yeah, I'll give them what they want and just give them like the insight, the behind the scenes view of what we're doing, how we're, you know, working on the car, racing, all the behind the scenes, like things that we're putting into the car, the problems that are happening, and how we're able to fix it. So the journey, pretty much. So it's pretty much the build of the car, like to gain that respect, because I didn't really win very much. And it was just like getting seat time, learning the light, learning the car even. And now on the 5 year, like probably the 5 years is when it started. I started winning and I started like getting comfortable with the lights, the way the racing works, the cars and everything. And I know sometimes like I make it look very like, oh, let me just hit the gas and then let's see what happens. But really the behind the scenes is that we're at the track, renting it out, going to test and tunes. You know, I try to get as much seat time as possible, and there's good runs, there's bad runs, but every time I run that car, there's always like a lesson learned. Like, so the last one at Texas 2K where I lost, that was my lesson to just like start focusing really well at the light and don't let, you know, other people's comments get in your head. And I think I did let like people's comments get in my head during that event too, because they were like, oh my gosh, you're racing this guy and he's like super good and da-da-da. I was like, and then I got worried and nervous, and normally I don't. Like normally I just like stay in my zone, and I think that like stuff got in my head and affected the way I raced. But it's every single race, every time I run the car and sit in it, there's always like a lesson learned, and it makes me a better driver each time. It's definitely taught me a lot about responsibility and just not worrying about what people think and just doing your own thing. 10 years ago, I was very submissive. Now I feel like at a good space where I can be more vocal without worrying about what people think, basically. That's the growth, and then the growth of like doing multiple races and being more comfortable in my own zone, because before I wasn't comfortable. There's like so many people like tapping on your window and stuff like while you're about to get up there, and so now I'm more in a comfortable space where actually the tapping in the window and all the people does fuel me up to do better. When before it was like I was always like nervous and worried and stuff. I'm more comfortable in those racing environments than I used to be before, because of all of the experience that's accumulated. You do you, and keep doing your thing. If you feel like you can't do it, shut that part of your brain off, because you can, and you just have to find a way to get there and work hard at it. Don't let the negativity bring you down. Mindset really is a powerful thing, because once you start thinking crazy, then you're not gonna do well. It sounds cliche, like to be like, follow your dreams, but really like you can follow your dreams and just keep going regardless of what other people say. Just turn that off and you'll get there, because when I started, there was hardly any women racing, and now there's more women racing, and it's more of a common thing. So you just keep going. If you love it, do it. Okay, we wrapped up. We're done with our interview. How do you think it went, Abby?
I think it went really good. We got some good footage. Now it's time to get some B-roll. So
yay.
I think it was great.
So that was super fun, and hopefully you guys liked the interview too, and we will see you next time. See you guys later. Bye. And thank you, Abby, for having me. That was really fun.
Sure. No, thank you.
It was cool. I'm glad you reached out. Okay, bye.